Okay, I have started recording. So now in this second level, you have to choose the right blocks for the left hand movement and the right hand movement. So use when left arrow pressed, move left, and move right for the when right arrow pressed. And now when you will run it, you will have to touch both the flags. And once you touch both of them, it's going to clear you up. Similarly, let's go to the next one. The next one says that you now have to do something for the ball. So when the ball hits the hand, it bounces back. So when ball hits hand, you need to bounce the ball, run it, and it works fine, perfectly fine. Now we'll continue to the next level, and this says bounce ball. Now the ball needs to bounce both the time when it hits the hand also and when it hits the wall also. So initially it's going to be something like that. All you have to do is just put these blocks under both of the blocks that are already there, both of the events that are already there, and just run it. Okay, so that's working perfectly fine. Let's go to the next one. And this one says attach blocks to each of the when blocks. So there are like 5, 6 when blocks. One, two, three. So there are 4 when blocks here. We need to tell for every when block what should it do. So when left arrow is pressed, we move left. When right arrow is pressed, we move right. When ball hits the hand, we bounce the ball and play bounce sound. When ball hits the wall, we play bounce sound and we bounce the ball and we play bounce sound. Okay, fine. Now we need to make sure that we are able to touch this ball in a way that it touches the flag. Once we have done that, we can go to the next level. And the next level is about making the ball go into the net. So what happens when the ball goes into the net? We score a point and we can add some sound here. Without the sound, the games look pretty boring. So that is why we would add sounds everywhere where it is needed. When ball hits the ball, we would have a sound. When the ball misses hand, there needs to be a sound, and that sound needs to be a sad voice. Maybe let's say whistle. And when ball hits the hand, we need to bounce on this. So there was this whistle when we missed on the ball. And now when we will go to the net, a different kind of sound will be played. So this way we make our game to be more interesting or something like that. Now there is a goal at the top. It has a score point and score opponent point blocks to win ball and goal and when ball misses hand. So when ball misses hand, we have added score opponent point as well. And when ball goes to the goal, we have added another point. See how many points you can score before your opponent scores twice. So we need to give 2 scores to the opponent in order to go to the next level. So what we are going to do is just make sure that we give them the 2 points so that we can go to the next step. So I will deliberately miss this ball now before it touches my hand. So 1 and now 2. Once we will read all these instructions carefully, uske baad we will be able to do something. You can now attach blocks to the when run block. You have to attach the new throw new ball block in more than one place. So once now the coding is getting a little more advanced. Now you have to worry about how the ball would disappear and appear on the screen. So for that we have to add that code as well. So let's add the when codes first. Left arrow will help you to move left, right arrow will help you to move right. When ball hits the hand, you bounce the ball and play the bounce sound. When ball hits the wall, when ball hits the wall, you are going to say that so when ball hits the wall, you are going to bounce the ball and play the bounce sound. When ball is in the goal, you score a point. Play a net swish sound. And after that, let's say, what do we do next when ball is in the goal? Nothing else. And when ball misses hand, you score an opponent point and we play the whistle sound. And now we have to add these three blocks in when run also. So what happens when you click the run button? You set the ball speed to normal, you set the hand speed to normal. I will instead make both of them fast so that we complete this task like almost immediately, and set hand to a different hand, maybe a fair color hand, a brownish hand, or a dark skinned hand. It's up to us whichever hand we want to use. I will use one in between both of them. So now the ball is not coming onto the screen. So why is that? We need to throw a new ball when we run the button also. We will throw a new ball here. When ball is in the goal and we score a point, we would want to throw a new ball after that also. And when the ball misses the hand and it goes out, we would want to hit. We would want to add throw a new ball also. So use the throw a new ball wherever it is needed, and after that we will start running it. I have increased the ball and hand speed, so that is why it is moving a little fast, which I think is more suitable. It's difficult to score at least 1 point also. One. So we need to score as many points as we can. So again, the trick is in going to the second level. So we will lose 2 points deliberately and go to the next level. So now is the last part. Here you have to join all the code together so that you can create that basketball game. And then after that, you can start sharing it. I will share that code with you also where you can create this basketball game. Uh,
Sir,
go, go to this projects tab, click on view full list, use this basketball. So this is the create board for basketball game. Here you can start creating it for all of the eventualities that we have studied so far. Okay. Yes, you were saying something. Ibrahim, you were saying something.
no,
There was someone who was trying to say something. Just give me a moment. I just need to have some water. Hello. Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So who tried to make that ping pong game too? The ping pong game is going to work the same way. All you have to do is use the, yes, Ibrahim, you tried to do make that?
Yeah. Sir, I already showed you.
You have already showed that to me. What about the others? Aman, Abdullah, Abdul Hadi.
I don't know how to class, so I
What
play
happened?
after the class.
Okay. Aman, you need to tell me that what are the problems that you face. Let's talk one on one after this class, and I will try to ask you what are the problems that you face, because that way you're going to lose on a lot of things, Britek. If you are having some problems and I don't know that, there would be some, I won't be able to help you in that regard. If I want to help you, I would have to know that what problems you face. So let's sit one on one after this lesson. Okay, let's start working on the next thing. What we have to do now is, as most of you already know how to make a ping pong game, so let's just repeat that today, so that if there is any confusion with anyone, we can help with it. So, Abdullah, can you tell me something about the ping pong game? Did you try to make it?
No.
Okay. So I will show you how the catching game works first. Let's see that what the catching game is, and then I can try to explain you how to make this game. So I will go to file and load from my computer and see that if there is any catching game here. So this is the catching game that I have already made. I will show you how this game work, and then we can start with. So this game is about catching a drop of water that is coming from top. Is there a problem? There is a problem with this one, I guess. Yes, drops loss is already 5. So there is a small mistake in this code. I will fix it first. Drops loss to 0. Now let's start playing this game. So this game is about moving onto your screen and trying to catch the drops. If you miss on any of the drops, you're going to lose the game eventually. When you have lost at least 5 drops, you will lose the game. So this is what this game is about. All you have to do is just run onto your screen and catch as much water as you can. If you catch 10 waters of 10 drops of water, you win the game. If you drop five, if you lose 5 drops of water, you're going to lose the game. Like that. So first drop is lost. Second. So if you lose like 5 drops, you're going to lose the game also. I'm not moving anywhere so that I can show you what happens after you lose 5 drops. Oh no, loser. So this is the game that we have made. I will show you how to make this game. Let's look into its code first. So the code is like very lengthy, as you can see, but we can try to work with a smaller code first. So let's try to create a new game first. And for this kind of game, we need two things. First is an object that is falling from the sky, and secondly, an object that is catching the object that is falling from the sky. So let's say we add both our characters of the game first. So we are going to have an object that can catch something. And then we are going to have a character that would drop from the above. We just need to make sure that these sizes are proportionate. We need to just make sure that these sizes are proportionate, so you do not have to worry about them. This is so now this size looks more proportionate to me. I can also increase its size a little if I want. Yeah. So this is kind of a proportionate size that I can use for this game. So first thing that I need to do is ensure that my character moves with the arrow keys. So for that, I'm going to use a different technique today, that is use forward loop and then use if. We are going to use this if block to identify how we are going to move left and right on the screen. So go to sensing and use key pressed and put it here. If left arrow key is pressed, then change X by -10, duplicate it, put it at the bottom, and say if right arrow key is pressed, change X by 10. So this would help you to make your object move on the screen. It's moving on left, it's moving on right, it's moving quite fast and without any hindrances. So let's make it a little slower by adding 5 steps here and 5 steps here. Now this character is going to move a little slower. If this game is going to become more difficult if the character is moving slowly, the game would become easier if the character is moving like a little faster. Now our character has started to move. Now we need to set something for this apple so that it can be dropped from the screen continuously. So we want this apple to continue to drop on our screen, and we want it to always start from this height. It can come from anywhere, but it needs to start at this height. So once it is here, at this point, it needs to basically start dropping from this point. So let's say that we put it here and note its y value. Height is basically defined through y value. I'm going to add a real number to it, 170. So this is always going to start from this position. And this position here that says go to X, this X position is going to be random. It can be anywhere. Okay. So we are going to say pick random and put it here. X position is random and it can be from 240 to -240. Or maybe the lower side on this side and higher side. So it can basically now start from anywhere. Whenever you will press it, it will start at a different position. So after that, what should it start to do? It should start coming downwards. It would come downwards if you always keep on changing its y value. You always keep on decreasing its y value. Let's say I move it 10 steps and see what happens. It is moving in the right direction. I want to move it in the downwards direction. So for that, I'm going to change its y by a negative value. So that would happen when it starts with this way. Okay, it starts coming down, and I want this to happen forever. And to pick up this forever tool and put it here. Now this is going to happen. It's quite fast, so I'm going to make it a little slower. I guess this speed is suitable. So after this, what would happen is that this should be repeated and added here. Once this apple has crossed this line and have passed this past this spout, we would want it to start again from the top. So if if the apple we can add a line here and say touching color, or we can use an operator to find its x or y value. This one. Go to sensing first. And just try to identify what happens if it goes below a certain value. That is its y position. So if its y position is less than or minus 170, what should happen is it should go back to this position. So let's say how this works now. So now your objects have started to run on the screen perfectly. Fine. Now there is only last thing that we are left with. If the apple touches this pan, it needs to do something. It basically needs to repeat this same thing again, but the condition is a little different. The condition now is that if the apple touches the pan, so touching, put it here, and mouse pointer change it to about. So if now start these events with this when flag clicked, and start this event with also with flag clicked. So when the flag is going to be clicked, both of your things are going to start working, and then you can play this game. If you feel that these characters are moving very slow, you can slow them down. If you can make them a little fast. If you think that they are moving very fast, you can make them to go a little slower. The only thing that is left now is the scoring. So in order to count the score, you need to go to this option, make a variable which would say catches, and make another variable that says drops. So how many catches have you made and how many drops have you made? You can put them anywhere that you want. Okay. And if you don't want to show a certain variable, just uncheck it from here and it won't be shown. So now when this apple falls in the bowl, you need to change catches by 1. And when that uh, falls below that line, you need to change drops by 1. And when the game starts, you need to set catches and drops at 0 points. So that is how this game is going to work now. So, but they, in this game, nothing is going to happen if, even in case you lose, like many of the things here, because we have not programmed anything. What happens if your drops are at a certain point, if your losses are at a certain point? So that is basically something that I don't want you to do right now. We can do it in tomorrow's class. We'll look into that how to get those logics of winning and losing this game, because only 1 minute is left in this class. So that is why I would not want to explain it today. I would want to explain it tomorrow. So if there is anything that you guys want to ask right now, you can ask me.